Okay, the key goes down here into the sublevel. I guess I'll find out what happened. Fucking hell, how many barricades did they put? Holy shit. This is a comical amount. Oh, okay, this must be the door. Right, it is, and they're dead. Wait, why are these ones all ghouls? Did they have a mostly ghoul infantry? This must be Chief Hallmarker's force. Oh, this must be the Overseer's bunker that Hallmarker mentioned. Looks like a vault. Oh, great. I hear shooting. Are you kidding me? So dark. Do they not have lights on this level? Huh. These drugs, they aren't the same kinds I've ever seen before. I've never seen these kinds of drugs before.
Code Black from Overseer. Dear beloved board members, it has been a great honor to work with you over these past 6 years. All the wonderful things we've done here, the discoveries, the weapon enhancements, the biological tests, they have all been great successes, and we should be very proud. So it is with great forlornness that I declare Code Black over the facility. You must collect all of your belongings from your rooms, proceed to my bunker, where we will wait for the tantrum to leave the facility. After they're gone, however, I couldn't tell you how we will move forward. I suppose we will cross that bridge when we get there. On your way to the bunker, you must each enter your password into the Code Black file, which is now visible on your terminals. This will override the reactor and begin to leak radiation into the sublevels. Once you've all entered your passwords, you will have approximately 5 minutes to get to the bunker before the radiation will begin to have an effect on you. God save our souls. O.P. Overseer Hoffman.
Oh, that's why so many of the corpses look like ghouls. It was because of the leaked radiation. I guess they were hoping the radiation would take care of the tantrum, but I don't even know if that's true.
Private tests on concentrated stim packs. Day 14 of stim pack tests. After yesterday's failed test, I've decided to give it one more go. And it worked! The mistake I used yesterday was adding far too many blood cell regenerators to the stim fluid, which gave it more of a buff-out effect than anything else. Using the advanced regeneration effects of the super stim packs and the volume of pressure conditions of the normal stim packs, I've created a good base for a cell regenerating fluid that will recover you from injury completely, recover you from limb damage completely, and cure you of all radiation from the time frame of 3 seconds. This is groundbreaking. I must show the Overseer my results after the experiment. Public tests on tricosine. Day 139 of tricosine 115, theta testing. Tricosine has shown intense mutation in both rodent and feline test subjects, exhibiting very similar attributes to the FEV virus, but not in pathogenic state. Both test groups exhibited sporadic muscle spasms and eventually necrosis of the entire body. Z9 tricosine is biosynthesized. The houseflies from nirvanic acid, 5. The acid is converted into the acyl CoA derivative and then reduced to the aldehyde Z15 tetracosanyl through a decarboxylation reaction. The aldehyde is converted to Z9-tricosine. The process is mediated by a cytochrome P450 enzyme and requires oxygen O2 and nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide phosphate, NADPH. Sent email to Gretel. Hey Gretel, I just want you to know that you don't have to participate in Thursday's human tricosine tests. You seemed pretty uncomfortable when we told you that we took one of the employees in their sleep. I assure you, he won't be adversely affected by the drug. Dr. Key and I have done many tests to make sure tricosine will be beneficial to human health and not detrimental. Serbius. Inbox from Overseer Hoffman. Tricosine is not ready for human testing. Hi there, Serbius. I know you are very adamant about not testing the new tricosine compound on human subjects, but it must be done. We're running out of time here. They gave us 20 years to develop this for them. What happens if they actually do come knocking and we don't have it ready? Work harder. I expect a subject on the operating table tomorrow morning. Take one of the procedure employees if you need to. Code Black Password Gateway. Rockwell Facility Code Black Procedure Reactor Override. Password enter Serbius Moeller. Signed Dr. C. Moeller.
So that was the 20-year deadline. It was today when the tantrum came knocking. But why? This recontextualizes everything. They were doing horrible experiments, but it feels like they either had to do it or die. I have to find out what happened here, and maybe I can rescue the people in the bunkers and get some answers. Okay, it looks like that tricosine was supposed to be whatever they needed to develop, but it didn't work out. But the other thing they're developing is like super duper stim packs, which is interesting.
It seems that the access keys that are required to enter the Rockwell bunker are located on terminals found throughout the sublevels. You've already acquired one of them, leaving 5 remaining. The hallway marked with a red light is the hallway to the bunker. You should proceed there once you have all 6 access keys.
Alright, I need to find these other access keys to get into the bunker. This whole place is still filled with radiation. What is that? That must have been the person they put on the operating table. Oh no! Ferals everywhere. The people down here must have ghoulified from the radiation. Yeah, they were really big. Oh, fucking hell. Oh no. There's so many glowing ones too. The radiation's gonna be a problem. Looks like they were really relying on this tricosine. It's everywhere.
PRE prototype. I feel as if we're trying to cure death here. There is no way to extract the particles from Tantrum's lungs with chemicals. That's why I think tricosine won't work, and if it does, it would take far too long to dissolve the radicals. I developed a prototype physical radical extractor, PRE. It works when the tantrum exhale into it. The extractor filter is coated with tricosine, so that the exhaled particles will be neutralized. In theory, the dead radical parents will be non-existent, forcing the young V-fine radicals to die off. This process should take 2 weeks to complete. Yuri Chesnikov.
Oh, so that's what they were working on, a cure for the tantrum?
My thoughts on human testing. I can't believe that Hoffman wants to start human tricosine testing already. I know we're so close to our deadline, but Hoffman witnessed the tricosine rodent tests. He watched as the rats one by one blew up like hand grenades. What makes him think the same thing won't happen to a human test subject? Sometimes I feel as though Hoffman's gone mad with power, but as long as Hallmarker Sr. is down here, I feel pretty safe. Chesnikov.
Well, these guys seem to know there was a threat that was coming, right?
Code Black Password Gateway. Rockwell Facility's Code Black Procedure, Reactor Override, Password Enter Yuri Chesnikov, Soviet Babushka 11. Signed, Respiratory Specialist Yuri Chesnikov.
Okay, got another one of those access keys. And this filter. This should at least help filter out the radiation, if nothing else. I should keep my power helmet on, but I'll take some Rad-X. Looks like I'm gonna need it down here. Okay, this looks like another one of their rooms.
Welcome board member Schroeder. Email to Hoffman. Sent to OPO Hoffman. Hoffman, I don't f***ing get it. These other amateur idiots don't seem to realize the full scope of the situation. It's only you, Vern, and I that were there that dreadful day 25 years ago. Only we saw the hatred in their eyes when we shut the airlock. Only we received the letter 5 years later. We must tell the other scientists what will happen. We must tell them what the tantrum are. We must tell them the full story, Hoffman, or else they will not understand. I'm tired of hiding my past from them, and so should you. Anyway, I'm bringing my 44 to the testing tomorrow, in case you freak out when you see it. Kaufman Schroeder.
Oh, so it was only those three that actually knew. They were the only ones that knew what was going on down here, what the purpose of all of this was. If the tantrum really are an existential threat, then that excuses a lot of what they did. But not the secrecy. It doesn't excuse that.
Code Black Password Gateway. Rockwell Facility's Code Black Procedure Reactor Override. Password Enter Kaufman Schroeder. Logical set. Signed Dr. Kaufman A. Schroeder.
I mean, people might have been scared, but I bet there was plenty of people who would have jumped at the chance to try to save the world. They at least deserve to know what they were up against in the end. Ooh, interesting.
This is probably the most gruesome and ineffective weapon I've created, but it's pretty cool. I've used the shell of your standard pre-war 22 Ruger, but I've bored out another half-inch from the barrel and gutted the cartridge receiver and filled it with lead in order to add more backward stability. Systems-wise, I've added a seesaw mechanism to load the munitions once entered into the hand grip. Once inserted, it will trip the claw and seesaw the munition from vertical to horizontal in a ready position. Here's the cool bit, though. The gun takes an ultra-tiny warhead as ammunition. It is fantastic. What I've done is simply sheared off the shells of regular missiles and used the ignition charge as the ammo. Who would have thought it kills people? Hallmarker Sr.
It's a missile pistol. That's so awesome. Okay, this looks really cool. Holy shit, that's awesome.
If there was a most successful prototype, this would be it. It just happens that it was also the simplest to make. I've made changes to the intake flap so it now takes 22 LR rounds. The catch is that you need to wrap the 22s in a group of 5 with rubber bands. When you fire it will not ignite the rounds and let off a nasty burst. Unfortunately, it wears down the weapon real quick because it's not supposed to fire this ammo, but it's not half bad for a 1-week-old prototype. Hallmarker Sr.
5-round burst 22 LR? That sounds actually really cool. I gotta try this. Alright, I had to drop some stuff, but I'll make it work. Oh no, there's another prototype.
Not much to say on this one. Simply use schematics from an old pre-war M16 rifle from a small Vietnam War. All this change does is replace the light springs with a more heavy metal and accentuated the bores in the barrel. It makes the gun shoot with a bit more oomph. Hallmarker Sr.
Vietnam? I never heard about that one, but knowing America, it's probably on the list. Ooh, shit, this shoots like a shotgun, damn. The missile one is the best one, though. It's so cool. Yep, this is definitely weapons, ooh, interesting. A weapons-obsessed person's room.
Latest weapons test results. As it's nearing our deadline for our Tricosine results, Hoffman has ordered me to carry out some tests in order to test the effectiveness of our weapons against what we suspect the Tantrum are armed with, should they attack when they vowed they would. The results have exponentially scared me out of my socks. Our 10-year-old weapons are 50% less accurate than the 25-year-old Tantrum weapons. I am furious that Hoffman has not made me aware of these weapons. Perhaps I could have had time to study them and make appropriate changes to our own. If they do bust down the front door, we would have a hell of a lot of trouble taking them out. Our best bet would be to gang up on one and take his weapon once he falls. I've taken it upon myself to use pre-war weapons found within the sublevels and mod them in an attempt to ready ourselves for an imminent Tantrum strike. Hallmarker Sr.
I think the Overseer thought they would meet the deadline, then slowly begin to realize that they wouldn't.
Code Black Password Gateway. Rockwell Facilities Code Black Procedure Reactor Override Password Enter Ronald Hallmarker Sr. Tinker Tinker Lil Shoot. Signed Weapon Specialist Ronald Hallmarker Sr.
This must be Chief Hallmarker's dad. Probably why he got the job. Oh, fuck. Holy shit. Ow! 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 Okay, that was way too close. I need to be more careful.
Look, King, I need your help bad. I wrote this so Greta couldn't find it on the server and make her upset. But both you and I know that we need a living subject for tomorrow's test, and there's no way I'm going up to quarters by myself. I am begging you to come with me at 2 a.m. and get one. Hallmarker knows already, and will send 2 of his men to help us. Meet me in Op Room at 150. Please. Chestikov.
Oh, fuck, man.
Welcome, Board Member King. Email to Overseer.
I'm afraid Gretel is right, Hoffman. Hoffman, as the resident neuroscientist here, I am telling you that your suggested proposal to test tricosine on a human subject is a very, very bad idea. Even with our due date right around the corner, we cannot just go about flailing our limbs in attempts to find this cure. We must remain calm under pressure and start another round of rodent testing to try and reboot the failed anti-radical chain in the previous round. It will do you well to listen to us, Hoffman. The only thing separating tricosine and the FEV is the electron count. What makes you think we won't have a similar result? King.
Wow, so tricosine really is derived from FEV. Honestly, I agree with them. There probably wasn't anything they could do to meet the deadline at this point, so they didn't need to throw a body on the table. It wasn't going to change anything. They were all already dead.
Thoughts on tricosine?
It's been 20 years since our first test of tricosine alpha 1. We've progressed so much, yet we are so far from a cure. I just can't seem to understand it. The concept is so simple: to remove the effects of Vanderfine from a human system, nearly mimicking the way Radaway removes unhinged particles from someone. The main problems are that the infection started 21 years ago, giving it time to mutate and evolve, and that we have no recent samples from the infected. How are we supposed to cure V-Fine from a 21-year-old sample? It is unrealistic to the 100th degree. I guess the only thing to hope for is that V-Fine has killed them all, so they can't come back for revenge. Dr. R.F. King.
So the Tantrum are the infected from V-Fine.
Code Black Password Gateway.
Rockwell Facility's Code Black Procedure, Reactor Override, Password Enter R.F. King. Signed, Dr. Richtofen Ferdinand King.
You know, he's the only one that actually had a sensible, secure password. Oh, fucking hell. These feral ghouls are everywhere. Oh, is this hers? Yep, looks like it.
Welcome, Board Member Gretel. Email from Servius.
Oh yeah, I already read this email.
Inbox from Overseer Hoffman. I will not stand for these obscene experiments. I am just about tired of you and your defiance, Gretel. You are making the entire board paranoid with your antics about tricosine. We are so close to perfecting the formula and getting ourselves out of this hole of a situation. I don't think you fully understand what these people can do to us, Gretel. So I will pretend you never sent me the previous emails and that you are a fully supportive member of the team, which will be desperately needed in the next few days. It would do you good to cooperate, Gretel. I would hate for something to happen to you in your sleep. Hoffman.
The Overseer's blinded by his hope in tricosine. It's not gonna work. And what a piece of shit threatening her like that. When you're already forced to kill people, who gets to choose who comes next? I think ultimately this institution was doomed from the get-go. A hierarchy like this was never gonna work for developing this cure.
That sadistic bastard. I cannot believe this. I can barely type. I'm sitting here after watching the human testing of tricosine, and what I saw is exactly what I told Hoffman would happen. But he wouldn't listen and went ahead and pumped an employee full of tricosine, and there the poor guy went, blowing up like a f***ing balloon. And he kept going until Schroeder had to empty his 44 in him. I can't wait until I slap Hoffman right in the face. At this point, I don't care if he shoots me with that fancy pistol of his. I'm tired of this building. I'm tired of this deadline. And I'm tired of Hoffman. I really hope these tantrum idiots show up and blow his head right off his shoulders. Though knowing him, it's probably just another lie to make us work faster. Pathetic.
The tantrum are the real threat here, but Hoffman is not helping.
Code Black Password Gateway. Rockwell Facility's Code Black procedure. Reactor override. Password enter Gretel Sinclair. Longing for the Swanee River 44. Signed, Dr. Gretel P. Sinclair.
Okay. I think that's the last one. There's a page left here.
So I'm here in my makeshift quarters down in the sub-levels. I can't sleep after the meeting we just had tonight. It was our annual meeting on our deadline for the tricosine compound. Overseer Hoffman said that we will start human testing in a year's time, which is the absolute deadline. Near the end of the meeting, Hoffman told us what would happen if we didn't get the compound in time. He said that the buyers will come looking for us and will stop at nothing to retrieve the compound. I couldn't tell if he was joking or not. I mean, he seemed pretty serious. It doesn't make any sense at all. I guess he just wants us to work faster. Hoffman's weird like that.
Ah, so he did tell them that they would die if they didn't meet the deadline. He just didn't tell them why or how. Alright, I think I got them all.
Reactor status. Unexpected drop in power. Systems unstable. Major leak of cooling fluids detected. Main reactor output 0.221%. Secondary generators output 110%. Power diversion. Emergency lighting 20%. Ventilation 80%. Computer systems 10%. Pneumatics 0%. Cooling 0%. Intercom 0%.
Oh shit, the reactor's gonna blow. Oh fucking hell, another glowing one. Oof. Okay. Shit, I gotta hurry. This radiation's bad. Fuck, these were the guys that were right next to the reactor. Alright. Took care of those guys. They must have been right next to the reactor when they set it off. I think I can do something from there. From here. Okay, revert emergency power to pneumatics. Okay, open emergency door seal mechanism. Okay. Okay, I should be able to get into the bunker now. Okay. They all needed to be together to open this. Alright, I made it to the bunker. I've cleared the whole building. The tantrum are gone. I just need to get you all out. Alright, I'm here to rescue. Oh, no. Hello?
Oh god. Oh god, no.
What is it? I'm here to help you. The tantrum are dead.
Oh god, what have I done? I should have waited.
I don't understand. What's happening?
If we fear capture, our last resort is taking cyanide capsules. We vowed to end it together, as a team, in the name of science. So sorry you had to go through all this. So sorry you had to witness our secrets. I assure you our vision was as pure as humanity itself. A vision of love, care, and human kindness. We saw happy families, friendly neighbors, and children laughing around family barbecues. I guess there's nothing to do now. Maybe hope that my pill was a dud. You did good, kid. Just not the best timing.
Oh, no. Fuck. If only I'd been a bit faster. I could have made it.
I just received your letter. You're down and out, you say. At first I thought I would tell you to travel on the other way. But
They all killed themselves.
All you once were.
They couldn't see a way out.
I'm going to give you another chance
Oh,
to prove
no.
what you can be. Any old time
Fuck you, Hoffman.
you wanna come back home, drop me a line and say no more you'll roam. You had your chance to play the game fast.
Alright, I'm gonna gather all this up. Maybe someday it could be of use.
Tantrum Files. 25 years ago, Rockwell Facilities were operating out of Vermont. Rockwell Facilities was on a big course to become even greater than Big Mountain. They were becoming a technological wonder group of over 100 members that would drive humanity to civilization again. Until that dreadful day. It was a routine chemical experiment. They were testing the drug Vanderfeen 4. It was supposedly able to grow new flesh over the tattered skin of non-feral ghouls, a drug that would certainly get them known across the wasteland. Dr. Hoffman was heading the experiment, followed by Dr. Schroeder, and finally Vernon, who was monitoring the vitals of the subject, a 43-year-old ghoul who volunteered. He was strapped down and tranquilized. Schroeder handed Hoffman the large syringe containing the bubbling Vanderfen. Hoffman began to inject the serum into the spine of the ghoul. Almost immediately, skin began growing over the old flesh. However, it wasn't long until gas-filled bubbles began to arise from the ghoul's back. One of the assistants took a scalpel and attempted to deflate it. It quickly bursted and began eroding the flesh of the assistant's hand, which then produced bubbles of its own. Within 10 short minutes, the company had a contagion on their hands. Hoffman pulled the alarm lever and made a run for the exit with Schroeder and Vernon in close pursuit. When they reached the exit, Schroeder activated the airlock. They couldn't help but watch the horrors that unfolded inside. People began turning on each other as the contagion spread through the facilities. They bludgeoned close friends with wrenches and hammers, using their hands to rip out eyes. At one point, an unaffected researcher reached the airlock. He was so desperate to get out, screaming and kicking. Hoffman wanted to activate the override, but Schroeder would not allow him. Disregarding Schroeder, Hoffman reached for the switch, when suddenly a muzzle was pressed against his neck. Schroeder's 44. They watched as he was beaten to death and rammed into the airlock. So the remaining 3 scientists fled Vermont and headed towards Nevada, where they heard stories of a land untouched by the warheads, a place to settle and forget their past. 3 years later, the scientists receive a letter from Vermont. It was a letter telling the scientists that they have 20 years to develop a cure from the V-Fine contagion, and if they didn't receive it on time, the former scientists would come and kill them all. So Hoffman managed to contact Father Elijah of the Brotherhood of Steel, asking for a hologram device in which they could use. Father Elijah accepted and was paid a sum of caps and the location of the former Rockwell facilities in order to fill his thirst for technology. Within 2 years, Hoffman, Vernon, and Schroeder constructed a facility that would house their experiments for the next 20 years. The bulk of the experiments would be carried out 350 meters underground in an unfinished vault that they discovered while building the facility. Multiple airlocks would be put in place in order to prevent a repeat incident. And here we are. Finn.
Wow, you don't usually get a plague that demands that you cure it. That's so fucked up. They were responsible for their own enemies. Maybe Rockwell was the real evil, but it seems like it was an accident. They were just trying to cure ghoulification. We've all made mistakes here. I made one by coming too late. And there's no point in holding the grudge, so...
You're down and out, you say. At first I thought I would tell you to travel on the other way.
On our way to the Mojave from Vermont, we stumbled upon an old radio station building. While we were there, we found 9 intact songs from the old world fit on the holotapes. Extraordinary. Hoffman.
I'm going to stick by you.
Oh, they found some old world songs?
Your roaming days are through. You'll find me here. Like
I'll play them as soon as I get out of this place. They seem to have left the radio going.
you wanna come back home.
I have to take this. I mean, otherwise just no one's ever gonna see any of this again. And that'd be pretty sad. I mean, they did do some work. If I ever get the chance to use this to help them or anyone that's left in the future, I will. Let's just hope the tantrum were contained in Vermont. Or that they sent everyone here and there aren't any left behind. I haven't heard most of these. Oh, I know this one. I don't want to set the world on fire. Yeah, that's a good one. I'm a bit overburdened now, just gonna have to crawl my way to the exit until I can find a door. Oh, fuck. Feels like I haven't seen the sun in ages. It was so dark down there. In more ways than one. Go! Okay, Rockwell should be over here. Should be able to use the door. This is the closest door in like a 10-mile radius. Alright, now for the brothel. Wasn't it supposed to be down this way somewhere? Oh, it's this way. It's a great Khan grave. The tombstone says chance. Must have left their weapon here too. Sorry, buddy. Must have had something to do with that tribe settlement. Well, this area has been completely razed to the ground. Hopefully the brothel is still standing. Gotta get over these rocks.
Beyond the rock slide, Route 160 continues towards Mountain Springs. Walk to Mountain Springs.